You're listening to the Mental Tide podcast with Dean Vassallo. Hello everyone, great day. I hope you are having a fantastic start to the year. My name's Dean Vassallo and this is the first episode of this podcast, and I'm going to utilise this podcast to talk about things mental well-being related. We're going to talk about coaching related things, mentoring related things, how to set yourself up for success, and any other thing that might come through that I think is relevant and important to the people listening. So today, for the first episode, we're actually going to talk around the power of goal setting. Especially coming into the new year, the power of goal setting is super important, as it sets you up for success, right? And it sets you up to have a key initiative and some deliverables to hold yourself accountable for, whether it be for a week, for a fortnight, for a month, for 3 months, for a year. It's really great to have some sort of goal to achieve towards, right? Now, there's a couple of points here, and the point of these podcasts as well is they're not going to be overly long. They're just going to be nice and punchy, just enough to wet the whistle and to give you a bit of a taste around the work that I do in coaching and mentoring people, and some of the things that we usually talk about in our one-to-one sessions and group sessions. So this is the first one, so the power of goal setting. So I think the first thing around power and goal setting is clarity and focus. So setting goals, it just provides that clarity about what you want to achieve, right? And it helps you define, I guess, what your priorities and your focus to where your energy should be and what truly matters to you. You don't want to be running towards a goal that isn't for you, or something that isn't not achievable, but something that you're going to burn oil on. There's no point. So have that clarity and focus first and foremost. What is it that you want to do, right? Set yourself out a small list. And again, you got to pick the duration. Do you want something that's going to be a goal task for the week? Do you want it for fortnight? Do you want a 3-month task list? Do you want to set yourself up for 3 months and go, this is what I want to achieve for 3 months? That gives you that full clarity and focus. You can then print it out or write it out, stick it on a wall somewhere that you're going to see it every single day and hold yourself accountable, right? So that's the first thing, clarity and focus. The second thing, motivation and drive, right? Now, motivation is a big thing. Motivation and drive give you the fuel to go forward, right, and to push forward. So the goals act as motivators, right? They give you a reason to work hard and to stay committed to that goal and to stay online, right? And having a clear objective creates that sense of purpose that increases your determination to overcome those challenges. So without that motivation and that drive, there's no point setting up goals, because you're setting it up for nothing. So having that motivation, having that drive, having that aspiration to know where you're going and how you're going to get there, which is your motivation and your drive, that is super important to have, right? The third thing you want to look at is measurable progress. Now, how are you measuring yourself on the progress of these goals? How are you measuring self, and whether you've been whether you've been doing the right thing or the wrong thing in regards to getting to those goals? So your goals should be measurable. So bottom line, right? You need to allow them to track your progress. So it's a tangible measurement, right? So you're going to have a tangible measurement to stay on course and give you that direction, so that if you start to stray from the path, what it is that you need to do to get back on path. And then when you get back on path and you start ticking things off and marking through and going and achieving goals, you then got to celebrate those achievements, because that then gives you mentally a sense of, okay, I've done something really good, and I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to push forward. I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to push forward. I'm going to tick off the next box. I'm going to tick off the next goal that I've set out for myself. So measurable progress. Make it achievable. Make it tangible. Don't just make something completely unachievable and then get upset when you don't achieve it. So make it that something that you can do, right? Number 4, this is a really big one. Time management. So this is huge in regards to the power of goal setting. Goals often come with deadlines, right? So this will encourage effective time management, because you work towards those objectives with a specified time frame. So when you're setting that goal and when you're setting that expectation of yourself, put a time limit on it. Don't just keep it open. Don't open it up. Don't call it infinite time. I'll get to it. Yeah, I'll be there soon. Yeah, I'll achieve it. No. Set a time frame. Even if it's a portion of that goal that you're doing, set a time frame on it. So for example, if it's a weight loss thing, right, and you want to lose, let's say, for example, 20 kilos, right? Rather than go, I want to lose 20 kilos in 8 months, right? Do small increments. I want to lose 5 kilos in 2 months. I want to lose another 5 kilos in another 2 months. So just spread it out, right? Make it actually achievable with time management. Because once you break it down and once you actually simplify it and make it a little bit easier to digest, and an old manager that I used to work with in my roles, he used to say, "How do you eat an elephant? How do you eat an elephant? All right, it's very big. So how do you eat it? You eat it little chunks at a time, right? You don't try to swallow it all whole because it's not going to work. You go little chunks. Same thing with time management, right? Little chunks here and there. What else? That was number 4. What else we got? Personal growth and development. So this has been number 5. Now, challenge yourself, right, in your goal setting. Challenge yourself to step out of your comfort zone and grow a little bit more. It's goal setting, right? If you're just setting up goals to be mundane, run-of-the-mill, stock standard tasks, then, that's great, that's fantastic, but you're not developing, right? So develop a little bit more. Set personal growth and development tasks inside of your goal setting. So things might be like, maybe like developing a new skill, overcoming a fear, things like that will develop your skill set even more, and which will not just tick off a goal that you've set out to achieve, but it'll actually build on your personal growth and your development. So don't just go vanilla in your goal setting. Chuck in things that are a little bit niche or a little bit too out of your comfort zone, just to really stretch that a little bit, because that's a really cool way to really build and emphasize on your personal growth and development. Number 6 is contributing increased productivity. So when you are working through your powers of goal setting, as you work through and as you tick things off, you are going to increase your productivity tenfold, right? And especially because you know what your runway looks like. You know what you have to do to get to a specific destination. So knowing that and being clear in your goals will increase your productivity and the chances of you reaching those tasks, which is awesome. Number 7, building resilience is a massive thing. Building resilience, it teaches you to face setbacks. There's going to be times, especially when you're chasing goals and when you have an ambition and you're heading towards a specific target, there's always going to be things that pop up and that trip you over and that trip you up. It's always going to happen. By goal setting, it teaches you to face those setbacks and to face those things, because just because one little thing happens on your journey to get to a specific end and to get to a specific goal, it doesn't mean it's the end. You just got to deal with it and then keep pushing forward, right? So it encourages you to learn from failure, adjust your approach, and I guess persevere in the pursuit of those aspirations that you're heading towards. So resilience is massive. Number 8, it enhances your decision making as well, right? So goal guides sort of when you're faced with a choice, right? And you've got a clear goal, and that you've got a clear framework in regards to that goal and in regards to what you need to do. It's almost like that building resilience piece. You will at times be faced with making tough choices and making tougher decisions. So again, if we go back to the example of losing weight, right? And that's one of your goals. There's going to be times where you go out for example, and you know you're on a strict or strict-ish or strict, depending on how you are running it, diet. Therefore, what you can have when you go out is probably a little bit more reduced, right? Your decision making is going to come into full frame here, because you could either go down path A and just go, oh, I'm going to treat myself today, and I'm going to splurge. And then as soon as you get home, you get the guilt and you get remorseful, and you're like, oh, that's just set me back. Or you go down path B and go, you know what, I'm going to limit myself. I'm going to make a really enhanced decision here and just go, I am going to treat myself, but I'm going to, make it a fraction of what I would have done if I went down path A. I'm going to really dial it back. I'm just going to have a little bit so I don't feel shit after. I don't feel terrible about myself for making that decision. So in goal setting, making enhanced decisions is something that is huge. So number 9, improved self-confidence. So by achieving goals, even just little small ones, little 1%ers or low-hanging fruit as we call it, that itself boosts confidence. Whether it's a self-image thing, or if it's, I can actually do this because I've set myself out to do it and I'm actually ticking the boxes thing, it reinforces that belief that you have full capability to overcome these challenges and to reach these goals, which is amazing. And what, I've seen it with clients that I've worked with where, we've started working together, and straight in the back of their mind, their unconscious mind is already set them up to fail. They've already gone, well, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, and I can't do this. And then 6 weeks later, all 4 of those boxes are ticked. And that comes back from, having goals and setting them up to succeed rather than to fail, and say, these are little 1%ers or low-hanging fruit that you can achieve really easily, and it'll build that self-confidence, build that resilience. It'll build all of these different things that make the power of goal setting so important to your life. Accountability and responsibility. We already spoke really briefly on accountability, but number 10, accountability and responsibility. So setting goals makes you fully accountable for your actions, right? It instills a sense of responsibility, because you're taking ownership of the journey towards achieving the outcome. No one else. It's all you. You're making the decisions. You are the person driving the ship, right? And I say this with clients that I work with now, and with historical clients as well. It's like, everything is a choice. You are choosing to do this. You're choosing to set goals. You're choosing to run down this path. You are choosing to eat that meal. Now, that accountability weighs very heavily on people, because, again, like I just said before, I think a few points before, is it then weighs really heavily when it comes down to guilt and feeling shit for making a bad decision. Well, that's accountability. That's you. You are making those decisions. So be responsible in your actions, be responsible in your decisions, and be responsible in what you are choosing to do. And that accountability, once you move through and you fail a couple of times and you trip over a couple of times and you bloody your knee a couple of times, your accountability and your confidence will grow, because you're like, well, I know not to do that again. I'm going to make better enhanced decisions in getting to my goals. So all these things, even though they're singular points, all circumvent one overall outcome, right? And the last point I really want to touch on is enhanced happiness and satisfaction. So when you get to that goal, when you get to the end there and you've ticked the boxes and you've reached the end and you're like, I fucking did it. Like, I knew I could, and now I've done it. That is probably the most joyous things that you can ever feel, because you've overcome all of these different blockers and situations that you've put yourself through in that time frame that you've set yourself up to work through this stuff in. You've overcome them, and your reward for your efforts is paid off. So accomplishing those goals, whether they be little, whether they be big, your enhanced happiness and satisfaction is through the roof at the end of it, right? So that's point 11. So just, I guess in summary, that goal setting is a dynamic process, right? It empowers the individual to really articulate what they want to do, their aspirations, their momentum, their goals, their will to stay motivated, and to achieve, I guess, success in various aspects of life. Because goals don't have to be fully career related or fully health related. They can be a multitude of different things. So it's an absolute fundamental tool for anything personal or growth related, and it's one of the things that I do with my clients. One of the first things we do is we set up goals, and we set up, what do you want to do? How do you want to get there? When do you want to do it? It's having those conversations up front and going, what is it that you want to do, and how do you want to do it? So, in summary, number one, clarity and focus, motivation and drive, measurable progress, time management, increased productivity, personal development and growth, building resilience, enhanced decision making, improved self-confidence, accountability and responsibility, and then enhanced happiness and satisfaction. That is, in a nutshell, the power of goal setting, right? Now, I hope you found that really helpful. If you are somebody walking down that path at the moment of goal setting and you don't know how to get there, or what a good set of goals looks like, or just looking for that guidance, I'm going to be putting out more quick little spurts of information like this. So if you like this and it resonates with you, and it definitely ticks all the boxes that you're after, I'm very glad. I'm very happy for you. And I hope that the following ones did the same thing. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you on the next one.